Just to begin at the beginning, this is a book, as I understand it, which has been by your bedside for decades. How long have you been thinking about making Dune?
But I discovered the book around 13 years old, so it's almost 40 years since I read it for the first time. At the time, of course, I was impressed. I had been, since that period of time, very deeply inspired and impressed by what the book means and the way Frank Herbert created those worlds. It's a really impressive book. Now, at the beginning, I had some early dreams about making adaptation, but those at the time I was a kid. It was just a fantasy. But as I grew up, as I did start evolve as a filmmaker, the idea came back, and it was like a kind of El Dorado for me. The ultimate dream to bring to the screen. It's like a project that you have once in a lifetime. It happened that I was waiting for a new adaptation since years after the David Lynch movie was half satisfying for me, and I was waiting for someone else to bring the spirit of the book to the screen, something closer to the spirit of the book, and I kept waiting, and nobody did it. So at one point I got tired, and I tried to get the rights myself.
So I wonder, have you been faithful to those visions that you had, those dreams that you had when you were so young? Is that what you've been faithful to alongside the book, as opposed to even looking at the other versions?
No, this is really a new adaptation. I focused entirely and exclusively on the book. I tried to make a movie that will be removed from any kind of influence from what had been done before. And the idea here, the process was to go back to the origins, to the early images that came in my mind when I read the book as a kid. And that was like an archaeologist going back in time and bringing back those images, those old images to the surface, those uncorrupted, I would say, images. And that was like a very interesting process. The first time I was doing something like that. And that had the burden of trying to please that teenager that I was back then, very arrogant and big dreamer, So it was like a very interesting process, to go back in time and to bring back those images from those years.